Across our Houston roads, slick and icy conditions out there.
Yeah, with this Arctic blast, there is a notice to conserve power tomorrow, Tuesday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. This is the second time ERCOT is asking Texans to conserve electricity.
Within the last 90 minutes, at least 22 local school districts tell us they will be closed tomorrow. Those include Fort Bend, Katy, Spring, Humble, Conroe, Alief, and Aldine. HISD is telling us they're going to make a decision in the next hour at 5 o'clock. We'll be updating this list throughout the day, so check on our website, KHOU.com, for the latest closings and delays.
In the meantime, we are seeing winter weather all across the state today. Take a look at this. In North Texas, icy conditions are causing problems on the roadways there. A few 18-wheelers have jackknifed on I-20 near the Smith and Gregg County line. People in Dallas were using leaf blowers to clear the snow off the sidewalks, and huge icicles forming after a fountain froze in Dallas.
Here at home, we have team coverage on this Arctic blast. Our crews are tracking icy road conditions. We're also keeping tabs on city and county operations, and we've got ways to safely keep you warm.
Right now, let's get a check on current weather conditions with meteorologist David Paul and Pat Kavlin. Dave, we're going to start with you.
It is cold outside. Quickly, current temperatures look like this. Huntsville's at 21, Conroe's 24, Tomball 25. It's 30 at Hobby. Pearland is 29, Sugarland 27, Angleton 29. The only spot on the map showing up above freezing, Galveston at 33. That's at Scholes Field. Just barely above freezing. Now, winter weather advisory is still in effect for all of southeast Texas. In particular, we'll be watching the coast because that's where precip continues to come down. It's ice on bridges and overpasses that by far will be the greatest threat as we continue to see a winter mix across now our coastal counties and portions of southeast Harris County, Baytown to League City to Mont Belvieu, and still a big chunk of Chambers County to Anahuac getting a light frozen mix now. Light frozen mix League City stretching back to Alvin and Bonnie 288, and then you see the light frozen mix right there over the causeway, Texas City to Tiki Island to Galveston. And Pat Kavlin, we're watching this very carefully because computers suggest that this may go on along the coast for a little while longer.
Yeah, so good news and bad news. The good news is that the spots that saw it the worst earlier today, areas north of the city, looks like we're done with it up there for the most part. The bad news is the attention now starts to focus down towards those coastal spots. So we start the clock now at 4 o'clock. I think the model's doing a great job picking up on exactly where that frozen precip is. I think between now and sunset, so 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that remains the focus. We'll see wintry, icy conditions mixing with some rain showers here near the coast. And then temperatures down towards Galveston, they flirt with the freezing mark again from now through about 10 o'clock. But ultimately, those freezing temperatures win out everywhere. The good news, though, I think the precip's out of here by the time that happens in Galveston. But here's the key thing that we need to keep in mind as we go through the overnight. If you have to be on the roads for any reason, you shouldn't be, but if you do, treat any wet spot as being frozen and as being ice with temperatures well below freezing. Again, freezing rain and sleet is going to wrap up everywhere, even at the coastal spots by midnight, and temperatures, like I said, staying well below freezing in the teens and 20s. In fact, coming up, guys, we're going to show you how low the temperatures get and how low the feels like temperatures go and why that prompted a wind chill warning for some of our areas. That's all coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Pat, thank you. The city of Houston decided to open its warming centers 5 hours earlier than expected due to this frigid weather.
7 warming centers operated by the city opened at 3 o'clock. Jason Miles is live from one of them at the Denver Harbor Multi-Service Center. Jason, has anyone showed up yet?
Hey there, Ron. We're being kept up to protect the privacy of those using these warming centers, but we took a look a couple of minutes ago. There were 5 or 6 people in here. Of course, it may take time for others to learn that these warming centers are open earlier than we had expected. Let's take you inside the multi-service center here, the gym in particular. Mayor John Whitmire and other city officials. So as the center open, as you mentioned, it's one of operating.
If you need a warming center, we welcome all Houstonians. You're not going to need an ID if you show up at one of our warming centers. You're a fellow Houstonian during these times, and we're going to protect and serve you to the best of our ability.
This is important to note for those seeking warmth along with their pets. All city warming centers allow pets thanks to kennels provided by Bark. Now, free rides to warming centers also available by calling 311. There's a lot I can't get to, but you can find out more about warming centers on KHOU.com. Beyond the warming centers, the main message from city officials: stay off the roads, stay home if at all possible. And if you are home trying to stay warm, Houston Fire Chief Sam Pena is saying don't sacrifice safety for warmth. Be very careful with those space heaters and other items. Reporting live from the Denver Harbor Multi-Service Center on the east side, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Jason. Speaking of trying to stay warm, we're keeping an eye on the Texas power grid this afternoon. So this is ERCOT's dashboard. It is updated to the minute. Right now we can see the turquoise line, which is demand, and this purple line above it, which is the supply. They're not crossing. They're not even touching, and that is a very good thing. This means we have enough power to meet the current demand. Of course, we always hope it stays this way, but ERCOT is expecting higher demand tomorrow, and it has already issued a conservation notice. That notice is for tomorrow, Tuesday morning, from 6 to 9 a.m. We're also monitoring power outages across our area, and according to CenterPoint, there are just over 1,400 outages right now.
And we have some updates for anyone traveling. Right now, there is a ground stop for all United Airlines flights coming into Bush Airport. And Houston airports say they're pausing use of the Skyway tram at Bush because of the extreme weather. If you need to move between terminals, Bush Airport has deployed shuttle buses. At Hobby Airport, there's about a 30-minute delay for departures because of the weather.
And in the last 15 minutes, we're learning about a major road closure in Sugar Land. The city posting on social media that the main lanes of Highway 59 will be closed in both directions. They say freezing rain is creating problems on elevated surfaces.
All right, we've got some issues on the Katy Freeway now. Let's check in with Junior Caruso on that. Hey, Junior.
Hey, good afternoon, Ron. Yes, it's a full closure on both sides of the roadway. Where we're looking here on the right, where you can see that semi-trailer, this is the inbound side. That truck slid into the center median, hitting the cement wall, and it was actually hanging over into the westbound lanes. That is why that side is closed as well. The wrecker came out, moved the truck over, and now they got to get that cleared from the road. And also, they're going to have to make repairs to the roadway. So this could be in place for a while. That inbound side is closed between here and Highway 90, outbound closed between Pin Oak and 1463. Expect about a 30-minute delay on the inbound side and about a 10-minute delay on that westbound side.
All right, thank you so much, Junior Caruso. This Arctic blast is leaving icy conditions on some roads. Parts of the Katy Freeway and Brookshire were closed for several hours, as we saw, because of the 18-wheeler being overturned.
Yeah, you don't want to drive on these roads unless you absolutely have to. There have been several accidents today due to these icy conditions. Stephen Goen joining us live. So, Stephen, where are you right now?
So right now we're along the Grand Parkway, and as you said, it's been a rough day for drivers out here on I-10 because of those icy conditions. Quite a few accidents. We want to show you one right now. This is that overturned tractor trailer from this morning. You can see it on its side right there. That was there along a overpass in Brookshire, Texas, west of Katy. There was also a hazardous chemical spill here, according to Transtar. It all happened around 8:30 in the morning, closing down eastbound and westbound lanes for more than 3 hours. Then around 2 in the afternoon, tow trucks were able to flip that thing over and get it out of there. We also saw a situation on I-10 near 99 with a few cars sitting along the side of the road. We did see one car with some exterior damage, but hard to tell if that is just a slide off or a fender bender. We did see several law enforcement vehicles and first responders blocking an overpass for some time now. Now back out here along the Grand Parkway, keeping an eye on conditions near the Katy area. We did see some snow flurries earlier in the morning, and there was some accumulation on the ground. Most of that has melted at this hour, but these roads are still definitely icy, which is why officials are recommending people do not drive on them. For now, along the Grand Parkway, Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
Staying home right now is the best advice. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Let's send things over to Troy Kless now in our weather tracker. Troy, where are you driving?
Well, we just took a pit stop over here just south of the Beltway and Highway 290. So, we have been experiencing a lot of traffic in this area. So if you take a look behind me, you can actually see that cruiser on the scene of a wreck that looks like is just starting to clear. But over an hour ago, around 2:15 this afternoon, we were stuck in traffic for an hour because of an overturned 18-wheeler that crashed here, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. So I've been monitoring the road conditions, and I spoke with TxDOT on the phone this afternoon, and they're discouraging people from being on the roads. Now, according to a map from drivetexas.org, some of the heavily impacted areas include 290 northbound from the Beltway has ice and snow on overpasses and ramps. Other highways impacted include I-45 north and south from the Beltway all the way up to Highway 99. And Highway 249 from the Beltway north is also seeing icy conditions. Now, although elevated overpasses and flyovers can be more susceptible to icing, TxDOT says that ground roadways can also experience those issues.
We do have our crews out constantly monitoring and, sanding the roadways and just keeping contact with everything and keeping in contact with us to let us know what's going on. We don't encourage travel. If you do have to travel, please proceed with caution.
Now, as you just heard, do not travel if you can help it. But just 30 minutes ago, we did get some new information about de-icing some of the toll roads around Houston. So the Harris County Toll Road Authority says that it is prioritizing to de-ice the main lanes of the Sam Houston Tollway, West Park, and the Hardy Tollways, but they say elevated interchanges may be impassable within the next 12 to 24 hours. Now, again, we want to reiterate, stay off the roads if you can. Now, if you have to go out, make sure to bring an emergency kit with you that includes blankets, food, and water, as it may take time for first responders to get to you to help. So we'll keep you updated on the conditions as we learn more. Reporting live in the Northwest Houston area, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
All right, thank you so much, Troy. And I just spoke with a driver who's been stuck in traffic for around 6 hours. He's on the Hardy Toll Road trying to make his way home to Kingwood from his office in the Woodlands. By Zoom, he tells me nothing like this has ever happened to him before.
Driven in New Mexico and some parts there. It was icy, but we were able to drive there. But this is the first time I've actually been on stuck on traffic due to ice. And there's in fact, some of the truck right in front of me have ice all around their hood.
I just checked with him. He still hasn't made it home. Now is the time to make sure you have the necessary items in your car in case you face a winter weather emergency like this one. Firestone Complete Auto Care suggests having a portable charger, an ice scraper, blankets, snacks, and water, jumper cables, and a first aid kit, just to name a few things.
City of Houston officials say road conditions have posed the biggest challenge today so far.
But city crews are also dealing with another headache in this weather. Adam Bennett is live in North Houston. Adam, there's a big water main break near Hobby.
That's right, and the head of emergency management here in the city thinks that's likely due to the cold weather, though they're not exactly sure just yet. But one thing they are sure of is that around 80 homes in the Garden Villas neighborhood are still without water this afternoon. To give you an idea where this is at the intersection of Santa Fe Drive and Brace Street in Southeast Houston. If you aren't familiar with the area, probably the two closest major streets would be Makawa and Airport Boulevard. Again, right down the street from Hobby Airport. When we got there around noon, public works crews were already busy trying to make those emergency repairs. A man who lives right across the street is actually the one who reached out to us about it. He told us that he and his neighbors called 311 to report that break to the city.
We noticed it around 3 o'clock in the morning when we got to use the bathroom and there was no water pressure. So I thought we didn't cover the pipes up, and it's like we were going to wait until today and thought we had a broken pipe. So we started getting those next door alerts that other neighbors had lost water pressure. And then we, in the morning, went outside and saw a humongous lake over there.
And late this afternoon, a public works official told me that those emergency repairs should be done by tonight. Definitely some good news for people living in that neighborhood. We'll continue to stay on top of that. Meanwhile, the deputy director over at the Office of Emergency Management says this is actually the only water main break like this that they've had to deal with today. So good news that it's not worse beyond this at this point. But should a leak or a main break like this happen, you could call 311 to report it, just like the people in that neighborhood did today. And they said the crews were out there within the hour. We'll send it back to you.
Busy day out there for a lot of people. Now, if you're seeking shelter from this freezing weather, there are a number of warming centers you can go to.
Yeah, several of those centers opened about an hour ago due to plunging temperatures. That's earlier than scheduled. Our Michelle Choi joining us live from a warming center. Michelle, is it filling up?
Hey there, Reka and Ron. Yeah, since we last checked in with you at noon, there are a lot more families and children who have arrived here at this particular warming center, which is called the Balin Community Center off of Bissonnette Street in Southwest Houston, making it an ideal spot to ride out the Arctic blast.
Food, water, blanket, everything. No problem at all.
Among those staying here includes Ever Gonzalez, who arrived Sunday night with his service dog Cam to get out of the cold. He says warming centers like this are a huge help for folks down on their luck.
It helps. It does help. It does help. It shows compassion to the city. It really does. To the homeless society, you know, and to people that are less fortunate right now, you know, including myself.
Organizers tell us the Balin Community Center will remain open 24 hours a day until 9 p.m. Wednesday, and adults, children, and pets that are crated are all welcome. Another county-operated center in Houston is Greenhouse International Church on West Greens Road in the Greens Point area. Organizers there telling us they can accommodate up to 1,000 people. And just hours ago, the city of Houston announcing it would open 10 more warming centers 5 hours earlier than scheduled across Harris County, including at Lakewood Church. But for anyone unsure about using a warming center, Ever shared this message.
I know a lot of people are hesitant coming to places like this, but to me, personal experience right now, I mean, those police officers are real nice. These people are real nice and everything. They care about your safety. They don't care about anything else. I'm sorry. They care about your safety. They don't want to find you, you know, deceased on the side of the road. Y'all come on in, guys. Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, just to give you a quick recap, there are at least a dozen warming centers open right now in Harris County. If you are concerned about safety, we're told there will be officers at these locations at every one of these warming centers. Now, if you don't have a way to get here, well, the city of Houston is now offering free rides for anyone who needs assistance. You just need to call 311 to arrange a ride. We've also posted a full list of warming centers both in Harris and Fort Bend counties on KHOU.com. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle. And you have to keep safety in mind when you're trying to stay warm. Investigators say heat lamps caused a deadly fire in North Harris County overnight. One man died. His wife and 2 kids were taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. The fire marshal's office tell us that they had a heat lamp set up in their backyard to keep their dogs warm. We're told that sparked a fire around 1 a.m. The man died, so did 2 of the dogs. Neighbors tell us this family moved in about 2 years ago. Officials urge people to monitor heat lamps and space heaters periodically. Make sure to keep them on solid, flat surfaces. Keep them at least 3 feet away from anything flammable. Do not plug space heaters into extension cords. Instead, plug them directly into a wall outlet. Finally, double check to make sure you have working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors.
Now, if you rent a home or an apartment, legal experts want you to make sure that you know your rights, especially when it comes to extreme cold. If you haven't already done so, those legal experts say you should make a renter's checklist. At the top of that list, find the lease agreement you signed and read through it.
The lease agreements that most people sign are somewhat daunting because they're so lengthy, but look for the headings that talk about repairs, emergency repairs.
It's important to know your rights as a renter and what you are responsible for. Tonight at 6, we're going to go through more of those tips for renters.
Taking a step outside with a live look over the area right now, the Katy Freeway near Memorial Hermann Hospital. Take it easy on those roads.
Yeah, Dave, we're in for another night of freezing temperatures.
Very cold, hard freeze warning in effect. In fact, that's one of 3 I'm pointing out here. Winter weather advisory is still in effect. That's in effect at least through 6 o'clock. The coast is still seeing some freezing rain and sleet. Wind chill advisory in effect tonight and tomorrow morning. Hard freeze warning for lows in the teens in the morning. We're going to go over all of those numbers here in just a moment. Hobby's currently at 30. Bush is 28. Conroe's 24. Huntsville's at 21. It's 33 in Galveston. They're flirting with the freezing mark. That's important because they're getting a light rain down there, and just inland, on the inland side of the island, it is freezing rain. These are current wind chills. North wind, Hobby at 19, Conroe at 12, Huntsville feels like 8 degrees when the wind blows out of the north. Angleton feels like 19 right now. That will go lower overnight. There's your winter weather advisory, all the purple all the way down to the coast. The pink is a gale warning. The wind is going to blow tonight, especially across the bay and offshore, 35 to 45 miles an hour. It continues to be icy bridges and overpasses. That is the greatest threat. We have lots of icy spots already in North and West Harris County and to the north and west, but then along the coast, we're still getting additional sleet. And so League City, I-45 over to the west side of the bay, that's light freezing rain and sleet. Baytown, Mont Belvieu, I-10 east to Winnie through Chambers County, potentially icy on the bridges and overpasses happening now. Texas City, a little bit of sleet and freezing rain moving through you. And then you see Galveston and down the coast, Jacksonville to the Brazosport area, still some sleet here. And so Pat Kavlin will be watching that causeway over to Galveston very carefully the next couple of hours.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that, and then our attention will focus towards the temperatures, Dave, because you think it's cold outside right now. Wait till you see how low the numbers go for tonight. So Dave was just showing you all the winter weather alerts that are in effect for the area. We actually got an update just before that we went on the air here. Wind chill advisory in effect for all the areas in that really light color, but notice the darker shading up here, Washington County, Grimes County, up towards Walker County. This is where it's now become a wind chill warning. So this is where we could see wind chill values tonight into tomorrow morning dip to 5 degrees below zero. That's how it feels on exposed skin. And then everyone else from the city to the coast could feel like 5 to 10 degrees by tomorrow morning. There's a snapshot of what those wind chills could look like Tuesday morning. 0 for Katy, 0 for Columbus, 1 degrees in El Campo, 1 for Tomball, 0 Conroe, 2 below in Huntsville, 7 at the coast in Galveston and Brazosport. So these are some really extreme numbers where frostbite could occur within 30 to 45 minutes on exposed skin. That's the wind chill. Here are the actual air temperature values that we're dealing with. Actual temperature on the thermometer Tuesday morning, 17 Huntsville, 19 Conroe, 23 in the city, 30 at the coast in Galveston, 24 for Angleton, 21 for El Campo, 20 in Katy, and 19 for Brenham to Navasota. By the afternoon, we're going to be split. Areas from the city south you'll probably flirt with or just get above the freezing mark with lots of sunshine. Areas to the north, despite the sunshine, I think we stay below freezing. 29 Huntsville, 31 Conroe, 30 for Brenham, 32 in Columbus, and then we're back into the teens and 20s again by Wednesday morning. So teens north, low 20s from the city and Point South, and then here's the good news. Finally, a big warm-up. We will slingshot from the teens Wednesday morning to the mid-40s and low 50s across the area. But before then, here are the things you need to know. Bring the pets and the plants indoors. Make sure that those pipes are wrapped up nice and tight. And just stay off the roads, Dave, because there are so many slick spots out there right now, and that will likely be the case through the overnight.
It's wet on the immediate coast, and it's icy inland. And just really quickly, this is what it looks like right now, a live camera, Moody Gardens. It's liquid there on the island, and that is fog forming over the open waters of the bay as the cold air moves over that warm water. All right, so this evening, breezy and cold, 27, 26, 25, the temperature as we drift through 7, 9, and 11 o'clock. And then we get into Tuesday, and boy, start cold, 23 in Houston, teens up north, and you saw all those wind chill warnings and advisories in effect. 28 by noon. We'll struggle to get to the freezing mark in the Houston area. North of Houston, we won't get above freezing. Windy and cold tomorrow. And the extended forecast, there's your hard freeze. Tuesday morning, 23. Wednesday morning as low as 19. We rebound, big warm up to 49 Wednesday afternoon. That's when we get back above freezing area wide. Got a little front coming in Thursday, going to put us down in the 30s on Friday. Saturday may see another light freeze. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay off the roads if you can. It's a mess out there right now. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, everybody should stay home. It's a bone chiller out there. All right, thank you so much, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're going to have another webcast coming up at 5 o'clock. Take care. Stay warm.